yes, we recruit people and this and that, but it all doesn't matter unless what we do is basically distribution, correct? Okay, so we have people join, but nothing worked unless we can duplicate. So how can I duplicate to you my belief, my confidence, or my ability to, recruit or to train and stuff like that, right? So basically a couple, like about 6-7 months ago, Coach came out with a 7-step presentation. Because before, it used to be one presentation, which is the flip chart. Okay, actually, do we have all of the, like I need the blue book and like a fast start kit pretty much? Yeah. Oh, it's okay, the whole kit will come, so. But before we just have a flip chart presentation only. And the flip chart presentation relies heavily on a very good speaker with a lot of conviction and belief. So that's why we realize it's very hard for people to go out there and share. And people feel like they need to be a very good presenter or a very good speaker to be able to go out there and talk to others or to recruit people. So we came up with what we call the 7-step miracle. Thank you. Okay, so if you do know the steps, let's go through this together. Number 1 step is
Super trip.
okay, awesome, super trip. Push the button. Any of you have a button on your phone? No, only one person? Who has a button on their phone? Yeah? Everyone does, right? Can you push it?
Yep.
Like I have a home button, can you push that? Okay, just making sure. You can push, you can click. Push the button, super trip video. Okay, what's number 2?
WSB community.
Okay, Joe, I think you're the only one that does 7 steps. Push the button, WSB community. I'm gonna get Joe a gold star. Okay, what is number 3? SYF, awesome, and workbook. Okay, number 4. Green flip chart. Okay, number 5.
Yes, mine.
Number 6.
Survey.
And number 7.
Cross.
You're competing with your husband now. Okay. So push the button. Okay, if you don't know where the video is, you go to your browser and you go to worldsystembuilder.com, and all you do is go to media, video gallery, and we have Super Trip right here, and you just click. There you go, and it starts by itself. Is that wonderful? Okay. So, obviously it's just gonna play in the background, but basically what I would do, or what I would share is obviously, why don't I do this? I'm gonna go through the psychology behind the 7 step, and then after that, I'm gonna do the 7 step in like I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. Okay? So, you're gonna go through the Super Trip video. And then you go through the Facebook community. How many of you are on Facebook community? Okay, well, and that's the second thing we need to do. We need to get everybody on Facebook community. Okay? But you're gonna go to Facebook community. And you're gonna share this page about who we are and what we do. Okay? And then you're gonna go through the blue book and the workbook and then the green flip chart and some other people in the room will give their story, and then we have the survey card, and then we're going to have people join. Now, what I was mentioning earlier is before, when we presented, we only had this, which basically requires belief, conviction, for somebody to go through each of these pages about who we are and what we do. And also, this by itself, the belief and the proof have to come from somebody within. But with the 7-step miracle, okay, when we go through the video, for example, this is proven. How can you argue with me that when I show you the video when I say we have 4,000 people go to our Vietnam trip, or 4,000 people that go to Italy trip, and you see their faces, you see their words, you see in the book we have thousands of pictures. Can you argue with me that that's a lie? No, it's proven, is that right? Okay? Now, live, minute to minute, hour to hour, posts about who we are and what we do. Is that also proof about that we have thousands of people with our campaign all across the country? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. So that is also proven. Look at this blue book. Full proof right here. Over 1 million copies in print and distributed all over the country. Also, this book, which nobody reads the disclaimer, but has been approved and submitted to not only WFG and TFA, but even FINRA has a copy of this book and has approved it for distribution out in the United States of America. Is that also proven? And this workshop has been presented in churches, in hospitals, in companies, in military bases, all over the country. And people have learned and applied these workshops and paid off their debt, saved more money, have better investments. Is that also proven? Now, we already talked about that the green chart is not, flip chart is not proven. But are testimonials proven? Yes, it's a live example sitting right in the room, sharing about their experience with us. So pretty much out of 4 steps, 3 of them are already proven. Does that make sense?
Yes.
This is why I have people in my team 3 days in the business, and after that they can go present the 7-step on their own. It doesn't matter how much money they've made, but all the information proves itself. So you don't have to be the best speaker, you don't have to even speak English, you could be who you want to be, and let the information and the proof show on its own. Okay? So, let's just say, so like I said, I'm going to time myself, 2:18, okay? So I'm going to try to, because this 7-step, it seems like a lot of steps. You can do it in 1 hour, or you can do it in 15, 20 minutes. It just depends on how many examples and how much you want to talk, or whatever it is, right? So in the office, usually a formal presentation, I will take about 45 minutes to an hour. But when it comes to just an appointment out in the field, like at somebody's home or something like that, I try to just keep it short, okay? And share just from my heart about who we are and what we do, but through the 7 step. Why? Because for myself personally, let's be honest, I could probably sit with any of you tomorrow in a cafeteria and I can recruit you on a napkin. I have very strong belief and conviction. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. But for duplication purpose, like you are in retail, how can you copy me? You might not have the same conviction and the same experience as me, right? Or you only here for 1 month. You're not going to be able to learn how to draw on a napkin and just speak maybe as loud as me or whatever. So that's why we have 7 step. So that whether you're 1 day, 1 year, or whatever, everybody, you have 7 fingers. Mm-hmm. You can push the button. Mm-hmm. Okay, then you can do this business. Is that awesome?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go through the first one, okay? Or let's go through these 7 steps. So first and foremost, everyone, or let's say if I'm just with, how do you say your name again?
Alayli.
Alayli, okay. Alayli, first and foremost, thank you. I really appreciate Johnny for introducing us, to your home today. I just wanted to introduce you myself. My name's Alicia. I've been here for 7.5 years, and I have had a wonderful experience in this company. Actually, my favorite part about what we do is traveling. Do you like to travel?
Yes.
So I've been so blessed ever since I joined. I have been able to been to like over 10 countries just in my last 7 years, right? Or even if I haven't joined yet, I say, you know what, Alayli, even though I'm brand new in this company, but one of the reasons I look forward to being in this business is because all my life I've been working as a social worker for the last 20 years, and I could never take my family anywhere. So even though I haven't been on this trip yet, but I can't wait to look forward to taking my family because they promote to bring my husband and my son with me on this trip. So let me just show you a little bit about what this company does and how they're able, really the true benefit of being in this company. So we're gonna watch the video together, right? And let that play for a little bit. Say, my goodness, watch, they've been to Vietnam and Korea, and at the next convention, they're actually gonna announce what the next place is, right? So not only that, that's one of the, this is one of the best ways that we get paid in this company is through the trip. But actually, did you know we are not the only one here today? Our goal is actually to have 1 million families educated by 2020. And we have currently, at the moment, as you can see right here, if I zoom in, you can see at the moment we have 61,000 members all over US and Canada. And what our common goal is to be able to go and share with others about our financial education campaign. So for example, this is Jason Bedonato, who is actually from Chicago. And because of a presentation that I'm gonna share with you today, they had 4 people just attend and be part of our campaign, right? Or for example, this is Nita Dalal attending a meeting in Atlanta, Georgia with our head coach here, talking about a vision and what is maybe a snapshot of what we're gonna see at the convention. J.R. Cruz is just, giving a quote about something that stood out to her. This is Zenian Bing, who had the, pleasure to have a meeting in their office in Orlando right down the street here, right, and share about some of the things they learned last night at one of their meetings. But as you can see, this is Steve Quat. This is somebody, he is from Texas, and he was able to just help some people register to be able to see our big event upcoming in July. So basically, Ailani, you can see all over the country. These are people from Canada. She is from Edmonton. She is from Houston, Texas. All over the country, campaigning every single day to educate people and help more people become 1 million by 2020. So, why we're doing what we're doing here is because we want to help people save their future. So, Ailani, so far we have had over 1 million copies of this book distributed all over US and Canada. And basically what we want to do is we call Finance 101. Because we want people to understand basic principles of building a financial foundation. Why do we have this campaign? Is because, for example, like if we look at some US statistics, 33% or more than 77 million of Americans don't pay their bills on time. And 39% carry credit card debt from month to month. Only 59% of people say they have any savings at all. And worse, more than half of people now it's acceptable to default on their mortgage if they can't afford to pay for it. Hey Lonnie, do you know anybody in your circle of family and friends that had to let go of their house back in the mortgage crisis in 2008?
Absolutely.
And what's sad, what's funny is a few years before that, mortgage or a foreclosure and bankruptcy is not a common word. But today, almost we can find 1 out of 10 people have foreclosure or bankruptcy because of that time, right? Many of us don't want to wait to become a statistic to know that we're in trouble. These problems are all around us like we talked about already. And it's ironic that we live in one of the wealthiest countries in the world, but we always have money problems. So, this book, I read it and I was able to, even though I don't understand all of it right away because I'm still learning, but it really opened my eyes towards learning about financial education. Like for example, when it comes to financial foundation, how to prioritize your money. Or when it comes to understanding what is the difference of simple and compound interest. I don't even know that there's a difference. I thought that interest and interest. I didn't know that there's simple versus compound. Or, oh my gosh, did you know, for example, that there's a difference, there's like 5, 6 different type of life insurance. It actually seemed like there's more than 10 if you read this book. And, on my phone, I can always see the green arrow or the red arrow, but I don't understand anything. But now I see that, what the Dow, they explained to me, versus the S&P 500 versus the NASDAQ. And so, pretty much this book will go through all of the main things like mutual funds, what is the pros and cons, and, especially when we get older, have we thought about Medicare? Many of us, we grow up in America all our life, and then we don't even know when to apply for Medicare, how to apply for Medicare, what does it pay for, and what are the different types out there? I didn't even know that they have A, B, C, D, and all these letters up until, X, Y, Z, right? So basically, this is why we do what we do. Our cause is just right here in these 82 pages to explain about the financial education. But on top of that, we want people to be able to take action and also start learning on their own. Because financial information is everywhere, but how can people apply it? So that's why we have the workshop, okay? So Elani, I just want to share with you, it's so incredible. They have 5 workshops for us to attend, and look at these really awesome topics. Increased cash flow, debt management, building a strong financial foundation and proper protection, building wealth and asset accumulation, retirement planning and wealth preservation, and then building a business in the financial industry. So, for example, like in workshop number 1, this page is incredible. You know what this page is? It shows 26 different ways that you can save money today to put more money in your pocket. Have you ever found $5 in your laundry when you take it out of the dryer before?
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Good.
Oh my God, so good, right? Well, what if I told you you could attend our class and we have helped people find $100 a month? Or they found $200 in their laundry basket. And because they found money that they didn't have, they're able to start saving for their family or pay off their debt faster, right? Or let's say, for example, in workshop number 2, we teach people how to read a statement. Because a lot of people, they have financial statement and they don't understand how to read it. And then in workshop number 3, we teach people all these different types of accounts right here. Do you know the difference between tax now, tax later, and tax advantage? Well, if you don't know, that's why you gotta attend this class. So when you look at the account, you know exactly how they're gonna tax you. So you can learn for your future. Or, let's say, remember I was talking to you about Medicare? Look at the different kinds. But you can see by the X's right here, they don't all have the same coverage. So how do you know when you're 65 and you retire, which one is the best one for you? Or do you have parents that maybe are currently on Medicare? Do you know what they have? How much it pays? What does it cover? So we have the class to teach you everything. But you know, what I also love is this business. Why is the business a part of our workshop? Because, Ailani, do you agree with me that even people want to save money, but the reality is most people live paycheck to paycheck? So even if they try, then they have to find a way to make money extra to be able to save more money. That's why we give people the chance to learn about what we do and join and get licensed and make money extra on a part-time basis. Okay? So just a reminder again that this is why we do, or this is the reason why we do it, and this is our solution. And so, you know, just really quickly, I want to just go through with you about, you know, what our motto is. It's called building a new industry. Because unfortunately, the current financial industry has not done a good job for Americans out there, right? And that's why we need to revolutionize and create a whole new industry. Because how many of us, when we hear financial industry, we already have a wall up? It's because they lost our trust many years, and they failed us many times already. So we want to build a new industry through a national campaign for financial literacy. So for example, we have uncertainty is on the horizon. How many of you feel very confident you know exactly what you be, how much you have 20 years from now? Okay? I asked this many times. Many people are unsure. And that's why people feel worried about their future. Because many companies are going overseas, or because of technology, just like I went to McDonald's today and I ordered through an iPad and no one is standing in the front anymore, right? And many small businesses have to compete with these big chains, and it's very difficult for them. So before, we used to work for 40 years, from 25 to 65, and then we can retire. Nowadays, many of us don't even keep a job longer than 5 years. So how can we have stable income and stable savings to be able to retire and live a long life? So that's why we see people are going to face a lot of obstacles ahead. Like, for example, a retirement crisis. You know, before they used to have they call three pillars: personal saving, company pension, and Social Security. So let's talk about Social Security first of all. Did you know that there's a new word? They have a new program for Social Security? Anybody know the new program? It's called yo-yo. You're on your own. So why? Because most likely they're going to run out of money. That's what I learned in this company, Ailani, because of the workshop. And also, how many of us, does your company offer pension? Mine doesn't anymore. They don't even match my 401k. So the only thing I can afford for retirement is my own personal saving. That's all I can rely on. So if I don't even understand how to save money, where to save, how can I retire myself? Right? So that's why also we have an education crisis. You know, I have a 3-year-old son. I realized by the time he goes to school when he's 18, how much you think college will cost by that time? I mean, how am I going to save to pay off my house? And I also have my own student loan and save for my kids' college. I have to save for him at least $100,000 to $200,000. And how do I save my own retirement at the same time? Right? And last but not least is spending crisis. You know, because of the government, like I said, the budget deficit, so Social Security and many benefits may not last very long. Some people spend more things that they don't need with money they don't have to impress people that they don't even like. You know, Ailani, this company made me really evaluate my spending habit and why I do certain things. And they helped me look into my own financial and ask me, what is my plan? What do I want for my future? Then I have to start changing my habit or making some sacrifice so I can afford that in the future. So, you know, you're my friend, and you know, I know that we're very close, but